Hello everybody, QC Runner for QC Runner Games, and I am back today with another episode of Hustle Castle. Well, as we talked about the last event, our last video, there is an event coming right around the corner, and I have a lot more news to cover. So let me just start out right from the beginning. For those that don't want spoilers, don't want to know any details about what's coming up, you probably want to tune out on this one and not watch. I did this before the last event, and I was able to find out some information before it and covered it here in the on the channel, and I'm going to be doing that as well. So there's things I'll be reading that will be most likely part of the event and most likely be coming out when the event goes live. So if that's not something you're interested in hearing or finding out about until the event goes live and you can see it live, you might want to skip this video. So giving you fair warning. When I actually talk about a couple other things before we get into that, so I'll make sure I give you a warning again before we start on that. So, all right, starters real quick here. I decided to go ahead and spend a little bit of my ridiculous amount of diamonds that I have here, and as you can see I have a load of mithril. So what I'm going to finally do here is jump in and start working on my Bane set. I don't have any of these items yet, and I now have 10 of my essence, so I'm going to go ahead and craft my weapon here. Weapon is fairly good. Got it powered up pretty good. We got it runed up pretty good. So right now we're at 23% chance of dealing 97, and all targets lose 8% of their max for 3 seconds. And that goes up to 9, so those specific numbers aren't huge. Obviously got a chance for crit going up a lot and DPS going up a lot, so we'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and kick that off right now, and we will come back in probably the next video, maybe tomorrow. We'll see, and we will cover that and see what we have. So that is that. Obviously it's not very expensive, but I'm still going to wait because I got plenty of other stuff to cover in this video, and plenty of other stuff to cover in a lot of places. Plus I have a sick kid in the house right now, and who knows how long it's going to be before there's an interruption. My goal is to get through this video without any interruptions, but history has proven that's not likely to be the case. So let's see. Let's actually just jump into it and cover. So again, before I give away too many spoilers, there's going to be some hints here. I've actually posted them on Facebook and Twitter for those that are following there. But we got a new event coming around the corner. It's going to be a ruined event. It looks like it's going to be a card event like we talked about yesterday. That's where we get the space here in the under construction. So that will be 3 different levels you go through to earn different cards, and you also earn cards by just playing the game. So this is actually one of my favorite type of events, because you just play the game, you grind it, you do all aspects of the game, and you get stuff for doing it. And then those stuff those things end up turning into collections that you can end up getting really good stuff. And those always, you can play for free, but you can also pay, it's usually like $10 for a pass, and that pass allows you to get additional items. It allows you, once you complete your collection for the first time, you get free stuff like you get your, whoa, shouldn't have clicked on that. You get this guy up here, you get your premium going, you get your goblin going, collecting, and some legendary items and things like that. And I think there's usually like an arena legendary item. So it's good, and my view is for $10 it's actually get a lot of really good stuff for that amount. Just the goblin and the premium alone usually is about what that costs, so I always make that purchase because for me it's always worth it. And this is one also that I usually collect everything until the very end and then open them up at the end. We'll see if I do that this time or not. I'm not really sure. So okay, so that is just the high level of what it's going to be. Now I'm going to get into the nuts and bolts of what the events are going to be, and I'm going to try to do an arena while I'm reading this. And I'm thinking this is going to be a very bad idea because I'm going to have to move my focus in multiple places, and I think I've proven that I'm not very good at that. So, but let's see what happens here. All right, so we're going to jump in the arena, and we are going to cover. I got my phone right here. I'm going to be looking down at this. Hopefully I'm not blocking too much of the screen. Let me get the arena map up here so I can, at least be aware of that while it's going on. All right, well, before I start reading, let's see what we're up against. So far, so good. We can beat a 2-8 here. I'll actually use the arrows here like I'm supposed to. Not a fan of doing that, but all right, that's 2-8. So slow. It's 3 of them. Wow. All right, we got very low people here. So I got 5 below 3-2 already. And we got a couple hires up there. All right, so everybody but 2 are lower than us, it looks like. So these 7-2, which I've beaten 7-2s. Yeah, I was in an arena the other day. I didn't fight him, but somebody fought me. It was an 8-2, and he lost to me. So, that was encouraging. People we can probably beat, but let's go to the highest of the threes here who loses, which will be, looks like it's going to be that 2-6. I don't really want to fight the 2-6 right now. What about you? 3-8. I would like to fight you right now. Oh, you won too. And you're probably going to win. Here's this. That's the 1-6. You're a 4-1. I would fight you too, if you lost. And not you. So I'm going to see here. If this person loses, I'm going to fight him. Otherwise, I'm going to fight him. I got 104 left. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in. So the email is going to come out. And there we go. He lost here. So we'll do this one. So the mail is going to come out. I'm going to actually read all this, and then I'm going to be, highlighting some other aspects and things that are coming up. So, all right, the email that comes out says, "My lords and ladies, we are pleased to present you with another update for Hustle Castle, which has made the game far, or even more interesting, diverse, and enjoyable." All right, maybe I'll hold off while all these noises are going on. I forgot to update this version of the software. You can actually, there's a little 1, 2, 3 up here in the corner on the update, and you can click on that, and that allows you to remove the numbers, the damage numbers that you're doing for each of the fights. So it actually makes the game a little bit smoother. And, when you do replays and stuff, it's good to see. And when you're doing these videos, I don't really need to see those numbers. So for me, I actually find it to be better, at least the way I'm doing things. So, all right, sorry, let's go back to this. The maddest event in the history of the Hustle Castle will be starting soon. Expect Shrum and Cat Niggereth at your castle gates. A new rating has arrived showing the true power of clans. This rating sums up the power of the clan members. We also update the invasion interface. It has become more colorful, clear, and vivid. And this is just the beginning. In future updates, we plan to significantly improve the classic activity. Interaction with animals has been improved. We hope that it reduces the number of accidental taps on your favorite pets in the castle. Well, that will be a welcome update to the game. I don't know how many times I've clicked on pets. It'd be nice if the pets actually did something useful other than just walk around, but I guess that's kind of like a real pet, right? Let me see. I lost my spot. All right, the duration. Oh, this will be huge too. Actually, come in handy right now. The duration of the round in the arena has been reduced from 2.5 to 2 minutes. This will allow you to play more actively, have more fun with tournaments, and spend less time waiting for the new round. Again, that would be highly useful. There's a lot of people that just grind tournaments all day long. Let's go see what we have here. So that would be obviously highly useful, highly productive, and helpful for everybody. I'm not going to fight you, that's for sure. What about you? 4-1. My strategy always is I don't want to fight people who will likely end up hiring me at one spot because I don't want to take away an opportunity to fight somebody higher. So I always want to try to get people that will be below me, so that I always try to pick people who have lost. So that would mean I have to fight this guy who I'd like to save to the very end. But not going to do it, especially since I'm trying to get through more important things here. All right, so 2 minutes instead of 2.5 minutes. That'll be huge. Djembe has been greatly simplified, as I talked about yesterday. So instead of, let me actually read the words here. The number of waves has been reduced from 20 to 15. The opponents are better balanced. So, like I said, we'll have to do 15 rounds instead of, 20. I don't know if that means, they cut out the first 5 or what that means. Better balanced. Does that mean it's going to be getting harder, easier? Probably depends on your setup. For me, I can get through all 20 again. Obviously, once this ancient item gets added to my squad, it's going to completely change everything. I'll probably do a little bit of the tweaking that I mentioned last night. Take away a little bit of my power, try to keep my historical high the same. So yeah, I don't know the specifics of what that's going to mean, but we should be finding out about that soon. The number of rewards remains the same. Changes in combat balance. The astral exercise talent is now working properly. Now it actually activates once per battle. Djembe, Mercenaries, and Heaven's Rage spell are improved for TR11. I don't use those, so I'm not really sure what that is. So that's the highlights of what's coming out. There's definitely going to be a welcome change here, knocking the this timer here. It's going to be 2 minutes instead of 2:30. It's not huge, but it is, a helpful change. Excuse me. And plus the previous change, they added, if somebody falls asleep, that person automatically isn't considered until they hit the I'm really awake and I'm playing, which is highly helpful, for the people that fall asleep. All aspects to keep the arena moving a little bit better, which is, obviously very welcome. And the Djembe will be quicker and better too, because, for me, I do 4 rounds every day, and that ends up taking a fair amount of time. So, 4 times 5 is going to be 20 less rounds to do, so that'll be helpful. All right, so the big thing that everybody's looking for is runes. I hinted that my thought was it was going to be a ring rune, and as it turns out I was right. It is the ring rune that's going to be coming out, so sorry for those that don't have it yet, but from what I hear and what I understand, they're going to be giving runes if you don't have them. All the ones you're missing are going to be available as well. So, I think this will be 10, 11, and 12 that are going to be added now to the total. Oh, we got to go ahead and fight here. All right, so we want somebody in front of us. All of these guys are close. Let's fight this guy here. Yeah, so if there are runes you're missing, they are likely going to be available as well. Somebody like me, I need to disable those. Sorry about that. So, if you're missing something, you likely have a chance to get those as well. So, if you're grinding really hard, you have a chance to get everything, which will be highly useful. And for me, I think I'm missing 1 artifact rune, and then obviously the 3 ring runes. So, there's 4 of them that I'll be looking for. So, I can't read all of this because this is actually formatted really nice and have a bunch of details listed right here on my phone, and it is a ridiculous amount of text. And I'm not going to sit here and read all this because I don't think anybody would be that interested and everybody'd fall asleep. So what we're going to have ring runes, and let me just read the text here above it. It says the ring rune on a ring. Use the rune on a ring to add a unique ability based on the fighter's weapon. At any time, you can remove the rune and use it on another ring, just like everything else. The rune only gives an additional ability if the fighter is equipped with a weapon. So it's actually tied to the ring and the weapon. And as you see, as I go over this, there are multiple ways that the rune can be used in multiple situations. So there's going to be an electric rune, a fire rune, and a poison rune. And you add those on there, and then based on the ring, based on the weapon that you're using, it's going to be changing things. So it's going to vastly differentiate squads a lot. I don't know if there's just going to be one setup that everybody uses because there's so many different possible ways, and then you tie those together with especially at tier 11, you tie those together with some of these the red items. Forgot the name. Obviously ready for bed here. The red items. It's so much more damage, and it's just really gonna spread the way people are setting up their squads, which is pretty good. So, all right, we're running out of time. We got 50 seconds left. I need to get somebody ahead of me. I need to pay attention. All right, you're the one I want ahead of me. Has somebody beaten me? Are you guys watching this? Anybody beat me here? We got 30 seconds. I got to figure this out fairly quickly here. All right. Obviously a bunch of low-level people I can fight. All right, you in front of me, that would be good. And that's 136, that would be a good one. You in front of me, I don't know. You, all right, I need to make a decision quickly. Let's just do that because we're running out of time. Hopefully this gives me about 135, and I'll be right behind that other guy, and then I can beat him and hopefully finish top 3. A little bit quicker than I wanted to, so it's not going to be good. Usually when I'm doing this, I'm specifically calculating how many points I need and trying to get, especially my lower level squads in other games, like American Dad and stuff. I can figure out, fairly closely where I'm going to finish. And this one, not quite as much. And when I'm not paying attention, it's definitely harder. So, kind of costing myself a few positions here, probably. All right, we're in the last one. Yeah, so because of that, I finished in front of this guy, which is not good. Behind him would have been huge. All right, 7-2. He's probably going to win. 6-4. And 4-1. Ooh, 4-1, really? I'm just going to fight him blindly without even paying attention. So 225 would put me 7-8. I got to do really good to get in front of this guy. Den lost to him. Wow, okay. I should probably look what this guy is. If he's up that high and he's that low. Yeah. Ooh. Alright. How is he? What's his hero at here? 1-3. Alright, we should be able to beat this guy fairly easily. See if we can get enough points, though. I don't know if I can break 200 or not. Break 200, we get a chance to get first. Let's go ahead and see. So far so good. Quicker. No, not gonna happen. Hopefully still top 3. Oh man, way too slow. I need to do some studying in my squad because my damage is definitely taking way too long these days. I definitely shouldn't have taken that long to beat that squad. So let's see where we're likely to finish on this one. Come on. The downside of playing on the computer is it's really so... Oh my goodness, look at that. We've hardly even finished top 3. I'm just so slow. Even, yeah, I mean, I easily could have got 30 more points, which would have been right around in there. I don't know why that was so slow. All right, so while we cover these last couple items, I'm just going to leave the game just sitting up here. I'll click on some things. I'm not going to be... not going to start another arena because I'm going to end this video once we finish covering these items here. So, all right, so specifics of the weapons are the runes for the rings. So not real quick, it'll be kind of slow, but all right, so let me give you some examples of what we're looking at here. So for this electric rune, if you put it on a rune axe, it doesn't say an axe, it said a rune axe. I don't know if that means that a regular axe doesn't have it or what, but maybe that's just a typo here. So it says rune axe, and it says when the weapon's ability is triggered, the primary target takes an additional random number, not random, but number that's not there, takes an additional damage for each enemy affected by the ability. So, you know, for me, I have my runed axe, which is doing splash damage, causing, you know, damage up to like 3 or 4 different people. This is extra damage to them, so that's highly useful. If you have a bow, let's go to the crossbow, because obviously I have one of those. This is when the weapon's ability is triggered, fires N quick shots that deal N less damage. I guess that would be P less damage. Wait, fires N quick shots that deal less damage. So it's not a full damage, I guess. If the target is killed by one of these shots, an electric spirit appears in place of the victim. I don't know what that means, but an electric spirit. So let's look at daggers real quick. When the weapon's basic ability is triggered, the next N seconds, each of the owner's attacks has a number chance to steal all damage from the target and redirect it to an enemy with the least health. That is very interesting. You know, there's so many of these. I'm not gonna. Well, we'll read some more of them. I mean, it's just, as you can see, it's like very different, and based on your squad, different things are going to be more useful for you. Some things are going to be more useful for others. If you have a mace, let's see, it has a chance to curse the target. The cursed target attacks their allies for a certain amount of time. An orb, once in a while, sacrifices some number of damage of their health to deal pure damage to the enemy with the highest max health. I don't think I would want that one. Sacrificing yourself to deal damage. Okay, there's a rod. I guess that's a mage weapon. I'm not sure what that one is. Once in a while, curses up to a certain number of enemies for a certain number of seconds. Cursed enemies take a certain number of damage from the healing. I've seen that weapon out there, so that's just additional item for a mage. Let's look at a sword. When the weapon's basic ability is triggered, it deals an additional damage to the target of the health restored with the basic ability. So as you can see, it's just lots of different things for different weapons. So this is going to be kind of a trial and error, I think, for people for a long time until they figure out what's better. So let's take a quick look at fire and see what we're looking at. So real quick, back to the rune axe. When the weapon's basic, this is for electric. When the weapon's basic ability is triggered, the primary target takes an additional amount of damage for each enemy affected by the ability. So now if we go to the fire rune axe, with every attack, the fighter deals splash damage equal to some number of damage of his maximum health, and takes damage equal to some other number of his maximum health. I don't get that one. Physical damage relative of his max health and takes damage. So you're going to deal damage and take damage? I don't know why anybody would want to do that. Okay, that's a little confusing, and I'm not sure something I'd want to do. I'll look at the crossbow on this one. When the weapon's ability is triggered, sacrifices some of their health. All right, well, I don't like that one. All right, let's find something interesting here. Let's go back to the sword. When the weapon's basic ability is triggered, the warrior reflects the next incoming physical damage of his damage to a random enemy. There's some benefit to that. So far, I'm not as much of a fan here of the fire rune. How about daggers? When the weapon's ability is triggered, the next attack deals an extra amount of minimum damage to a range to max damage, depending on the enemy's health. The more health, the greater damage. That one I like. That will go on my assassin who does nothing but sits outside of my barracks at the moment. Alright, and then we also have the poison. So let's look at the runed axe for that one. When the basic ability is triggered, reduces the max health of enemies affected, stat modifier health relative, of the damage dealt by the ability. Stacks up to a certain amount of times. Yeah. Alright, crossbow. When a weapon's basic ability is triggered, it has a chance to apply ability again with double damage. Very nice. While this ability is active, any stun applied to the enemy will last for a certain amount of time longer. Alright, sorry, I thought the video was going to end with an interruption here. So that one I'm a fan of. I'm looking for that one for sure. Let's see, let's go to the sword. When the weapon's basic ability is triggered, it curses the target. It turns change health multiplier of the to the cursed fighter. Okay, and then what else? We will also talk about daggers. When the weapon's basic ability is triggered, it increases the damage of the owner's next attack by a multiplier and curses the target for a multiplier. Alright, so obviously that's all probably hard to follow. It's hard for me to follow when I'm actually looking at it. If you guys are interested, I can post all of that in the comments. That's fairly long, or maybe I'll put a link out there to like a Google document or something like that that has all the information in it, and you can actually read all of it. It's a lot. Like I said, it's like 3 pages of information, which is just basically depending on what weapon you're using and what rune you have. So certainly gonna add some extra damage and extra abilities, and it's gonna make squads that much more diverse, which is, it's actually good. So we're not gonna have everybody having these cookie cutter squads. The good thing about having the cookie cutter squads is it makes it a lot easier to beat the people that aren't following it, but it makes the game a little bit more boring and not as interesting. And there's a lot of people who like to do things a lot differently, so this will give that option. So that's it. Oh wait, one more thing I missed here. So talk about activations here. This one's a little bit hard to follow because there's 2 of these listed as well. So I guess the activation of the runes are once in a while. This I can't understand what this word is undressality. I'm guessing it's just a word that was lost in translation. I'm guessing randomly, but I'm not sure. Once in a while, randomly maybe chooses max target count to a max target count of 3 enemies, under which monstrous tentacles will appear to strip their armor. These enemies lose some stat modifier armor stats and cannot use armor abilities for silence duration seconds. And then there's another activation here. Once in a while, again I'm going to guess randomly, chooses max target count of 1 to 3 enemies, under which monstrous tentacles will appear to deal damage, which is what we saw above, to each enemy and strip their armor. We read that above. It cannot use their armor abilities. This is, these enemies lose a stat modifier armor stats and cannot use armor abilities. That seems almost the same thing. So I don't know exactly what that means. So yeah, suffice it to say, it's going to make things very interesting for sure. Who knows, what the ideal squad is going to be. But there's people up there with like 50 and 20 million squads, and now we got more runes out there. Squad power is going to get even higher. So even more reason why I need to start getting my squad built and being a little bit higher and more competitive. I have a feeling this new weapon coming in here is going to make us quite a bit stronger. I have no idea. I don't think I have. Do I have one of these yet? Oh, I did the daggers, which I didn't like. So I only did one weapon. I really didn't like it. I think that increased my power to like 200,000. Like I said, my historic high is, I didn't need to scroll, did I? 5.406, 5.402, and I'm currently at barely over, I'm somewhere under 5.1. So I got 300,000 to work with before my historic high increases. So I'll see what that armor does, and then maybe we'll think about taking off some rings or something like that to see if we can't just be more, really concentrate our power. It's kind of what we're going for, though. All right. Anybody who's still left, and I don't know who's still tagging on here, but I meant to add this at the beginning of the video. I put out a request a couple, 5-10 videos ago about, making sure that you're click subscribe, click like if you like the videos, click subscribe, and to share the videos if this is something you like. And you know, the subscription count certainly shot up a lot after I put that request out there, so thank you very much for everybody for doing that. Putting that out there again, we're up to like 430 subscribers right now, so you know, the push right now is to get up to 500, getting our halfway up to 1,000 up there. And you know, just it's a good milestone number, so something good to shoot for. So if you guys haven't subscribed, or if you know some of those in your clans or communities that are interested, make sure you pass along the information to them and see if they're interested. Doing the videos here in Hustle Castle, I'm sure most of you know I'm also doing Zero City and American Dad videos, not nearly as much as Hustle Castle. This is the primary videos I'm doing. And they're all clones of each other, so a lot of the concepts that work here work in other places. And for those that haven't done like American Dad, the competition there is just significantly weaker. The people have been playing Hustle Castle and playing for a while, and they're a lot better. And if you go to the arena in American Dad, for example, there's so many times, like my squad is severely underpowered, and I get first place almost every single time. And my fighter's up to level 70 right now, which is, you know, tier 8 here, which is Situation Room 8 over there. And so many times I'll be in like second place with a guy like 150,000 power higher than me. I can't beat them, so I'm not going to fight them. So I take the guaranteed win of, you know, like 80, 79, and then he'll end up trying to beat somebody higher than him. So, you know, I think they think that beating somebody with higher power gives you the more points, but instead they end up losing. So I end up getting first place when I should have had no business whatsoever, rather than, you know, trying to beat somebody a higher position than them. They try to beat somebody with a higher power. I'm assuming that's what people are doing. I'm not really sure, because I see it all the time and I just don't get it. So I get first a lot, and a lot of times I really don't. In my mind, I don't deserve it, and I certainly didn't earn it. But hey, I'm going to take it. So my numbers here are, you know what? No, I mean, I leveled this account up way too quick, so it's not very good. I'm actually getting some top threes now, which is good. But there I have way more first places already. I got like 160, and you know, these two combined are way less than 160. So whatever. It's a different game, different aspects, but it's you know, a lot weaker competition is the point I'm trying to get out. So anyway, if you play those games, you know, any of those communities of any of those games that are interested, let them know about the YouTube channel. And my goal, like I said, is to start posting some level specific videos, maybe during this next event, and maybe after that, we're at TR6. So whether it's Zero City, American Dad, Hustle Castle, there's a lot of the same concepts that are going to be working. So I'm just going to get some guides and guidelines of what you should do, how you should get there, and then how you should, you know, when you should consider moving up. And as I've mentioned before, you know, certain things I certainly don't recommend to other people to do. This game, not quite as much, but the other games, I'm leveling really too quick, and I wouldn't recommend it. So I have the guidelines. I'm not following them, but you know, I try to point those out whenever I do them to make sure people don't make that mistake like I do. So, all right, that's enough. This one's going on long enough. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm certainly looking forward to this new event. More runes are always exciting. The card events are always exciting, because it's just a lot of good stuff that you can get. Even if you don't buy the premium pass for $10, you still get a lot of good stuff. There's always people that complain because they don't get it, and I've had plenty of events where I didn't get the stuff either, and that's just part of it. You know, you don't always get everything, but you still get a lot of really good stuff, which is nice, including, you know, items that take your workers here and give them better gear, so you can start earning more things, which is also very exciting. So, okay, well, that will do it for today. Event. Oh, sorry, I need to write these things down so I don't keep forgetting them. The event's not coming out this weekend. That's been noted. Certainly not out this weekend. Nothing more specific other than that. I mean, my guess is probably like Tuesday, but that's, you know, I don't know for sure, other than it's just not this weekend. So go ahead, do your dailies, do everything. Once you get to Monday or Tuesday, you might want to start holding your dailies until you see if the event's going live at the normal go live time. But other than that, hope everybody had a good Valentine's Day. Enjoy your weekend, and I will talk to you very soon. This is QC Runner for QC Runner Games, and I will talk to you later. See ya.